In 2017, a crime thriller movie was released in South Korea. The movie created a strong response across the country. In both North and South Korea, the bodies of women were being found one after another. They had been abused and died in a very brutal manner. Behind the face of this good-looking young man hides a monster who continues to harm women one after another in a cruel way. To catch him, the police of North and South Korea will work together. Today's video is based on this story. Hello friends, welcome to our story. The story begins in a village in North Korea. There, a schoolgirl is shown. She was walking alone on an empty road, returning home from school. At the same time, a car is shown on that same road. There were 3 young men in the car. The 2 in the front were drinking and driving while enjoying themselves. The boy sitting in the back, however, was calm. He was listening to music on headphones while reading a book. This boy's name is Kim. At that moment, the 2 boys in the front suddenly noticed the girl on the road. They immediately stopped the car in front of her. The girl becomes a bit frightened. Before she can understand anything, the 2 boys forcefully put her into the car and drive away with her. After that, she is subjected to repeated abuse. Kim's friends repeatedly harm her. They create multiple injuries across. They beat. These men do not stop there. They pour alcohol and begin taking photos. While this cruelty is happening, Kim sits quietly in a corner of the room watching and enjoying it. After that, Kim approaches her. He calmly touches her forehead and head. Then, using a thin wire, he tightens it around her, causes her to stop breathing, leading to her death there. A disturbing smile appears on Kim's face. From this, it becomes clear that Kim is not an ordinary person. After that, a North Korean police officer named Derry is shown. He arrives at a house to investigate. The entire family in that house has died in a brutal manner. This family is the same girl's family. Her parents, her brother, and even a child have died. This means Kim did not only harm the girl, but he also came with his group and caused the death of her entire family in a very cruel way. Officer Derry collects evidence related to the girl's case along with these incidents and goes to his superior officer. It is revealed that Kim has not only harmed this girl, but has also abused and caused the deaths of many other women in the past. This time, Derry is determined not to let Kim go. However, despite having so much evidence, the superior officer orders the case to be closed. Although Derry becomes angry, he is not surprised. Kim is not an ordinary person. He is the son of a very high-ranking official in North Korea. Their power in the country is very strong. That is why, even after so many serial incidents, a person like Kim is freely moving around. The superior officer not only orders the case to be closed but also suspends Derry and his entire team for investigating Kim. They are transferred to a fertilizer farm. After that, 3 years pass. Then the story moves to the city of Seoul in South Korea. For several months, serial incidents have been taking place one after another. The bodies of women are being found repeatedly. Even after multiple incidents in the city, the police department has not been able to find the person responsible. Because of this, the pressure from the media and the department on the investigative team increases significantly. The pressure becomes so intense that the lead investigating officer takes his own life. After that, the responsibility of this case falls on an officer named Cha-do. However, Cha-do is not an ordinary police officer like others. His method of investigation is completely different. His boss tells him to follow the rules, but Cha-do says that if they want to catch the person responsible, he must be allowed to handle the case in his own way. With no other option, the boss agrees. After that, Cha-do begins reviewing all the files related to the case. There, he also finds several letters sent by people, giving tips to the police about the person responsible. He carefully studies all this information. Then one day, another body of a woman is found in an empty area on the outskirts of the city. Her entire body is covered with numerous injury marks. She has died in the same way as before. Before her death, she was subjected to severe abuse. From the post-mortem report, it is revealed that this incident was also carried out by strangulation. However, this time the police find a clue. During the post-mortem, an object is found in the victim's private area, which contains DNA evidence. This means the police now have strong evidence against the person responsible. Now they only need to identify and find him. Cha-do instructs his entire team to match the DNA of all criminals and suspicious individuals in the city. At the same time, he also takes additional steps. He gives a list of people for DNA matching. He got that list from the earlier tip letters. On the other side, 2 officers from South Korea's National Intelligence Service, NIS, are shown watching the news about these serial incidents on TV. These 2 officers are Park and his boss. From their conversation, It becomes clear that they already know who is behind these serial incidents, and here a serious condition is revealed. About 2 years ago, Park's boss made a deal with the American CIA. According to that deal, they brought a V.I.P from North Korea along with his 2 companions to South Korea. Their purpose was to provide protection to that V.I.P and collect information from him. Following his boss's orders, Park brought that V.I.P here. So, if anything happens to that V.I.P or if he is caught by the police as the person behind these incidents, both of their lives will be ruined, and questions about national security will arise across the country. That is why the boss orders Park to take that V.I.P into NIS custody before he is caught by the police. Because the police have already found a DNA match, which belongs to that V.I.P from North Korea. After this, Park arrives with his agents to take the V.I.P into custody. There, it is revealed that this V.I.P is none other than Kim from North Korea. Just as he harmed many women in North Korea, he is now doing the same in South Korea. As Agent Park is about to detain Kim, Officer Cha-do arrives there. Cha-do comes fully prepared. When he shows the arrest warrant, Park is forced to hand Kim over to him. Cha-do detains Kim and takes him to the police station. Park calls his boss and informs him that they were unable to take Kim into custody because the police arrived first and detained him. Now, before any information about Kim reaches the media, they must stop Cha-do. At that moment, an agent informs Park that Kim's 2 companions have not yet been found. Park orders everyone to find them at any cost. On the other side, Kim's 2 companions are shown. Someone has captured them and is severely abusing them in the same way those women were abused, causing many injuries on their bodies. After intense abuse, the person causes the death of one of them. The other one begs for his life. Meanwhile, Kim is shown in the interrogation room with his lawyer. Kim's lawyer presents all the evidence and an alibi, stating that when the incident happened, Kim was not in the city. He was on a trip outside. Cha-do responds with a smile and says that if Kim was truly on a trip, then how did his DNA appear in the victim's private area? Kim then says that he has had a hobby of weekend farming for a long time. On his farm, he grows vegetables including eggplants and cucumbers. He shares these with his friends and neighbors. So even if his DNA is found on that eggplant, he does not know how it ended up in the victim's private area. The lawyer shows pictures of Kim's vegetable farm as proof and asks for his release. Cha-do notices Kim smiling at him. Then Cha-do says to Kim to keep that smile because very soon his game will be over. He adds that he only mentioned DNA and did not say anything about an eggplant. After saying this, Cha-do leaves. However, he instructs all his officers to verify Kim's alibi, whether he actually went on a trip, and also to collect all CCTV footage from the city. The police team immediately goes out and collects all the CCTV footage from the city and starts checking them one by one. All of this is being monitored by Agent Park through the police station's CCTV footage. While reviewing the footage, they suddenly spot Kim in several clips. From this footage, it becomes clear that Kim was not on a trip during the incident but was in the city. On the other side, it is shown that the unknown person did not cause the death of Kim's remaining companion but instead released him on the road for some reason. As soon as the NIS agents get this information, they quickly capture him. Meanwhile, Cha-do returns to Kim with the CCTV footage and informs him that he was in Seoul on that day and did not go on any trip. His alibi is false. Therefore, in this case, there is no way left for Kim to be saved. Kim and his lawyer also cannot find any other option. On the other side, the NIS chief learns everything about Park and his boss. The NIS begins interrogating Park's boss. The NIS chief asks Park why they made a deal with the CIA without company approval. He says America has never handed over such a V.I.P to South Korea before. Then why was Kim handed over? Did this question never come to your mind? You were careless and did not properly investigate Kim. The CIA already knew Kim's true nature. That is why such a V.I.P asset was handed over to them. And since Park carried out all these arrangements under his boss's instructions, now Park has to handle everything. After that, Park goes to Cha-do's boss and tries to make a deal with him. However, Cha-do's boss refuses to release Kim because 7 women have lost their lives, and there is strong pressure from the media and the public. Then Park says he will provide the person responsible for the incidents to solve the case. Cha-do's boss realizes how important Kim is, and since Park is offering to provide the person responsible and all the evidence, he agrees. The next day, NIS agents bring Kim's companion to the police as the person responsible for the incidents and ask Cha-do to release Kim. Cha-do directly goes to his boss. His boss gives him a file and says it contains all the evidence against the person responsible, so Kim must be released. It is also confirmed that the DNA match report matches this person. Cha-do clearly understands that his boss is also involved in this politics. However, he has no option but to accept the order. Frustrated, he returns home. Upon entering, Cha-do sees an unknown person sitting in his room. It is revealed that this unknown person is North Korean police officer Derry. Derry is the same person who captured and interrogated Kim's two companions. Derry introduces himself to Cha-do and begins explaining how Kim had repeatedly abused and caused the death of many women in North Korea. Derry was suspended for investigating him. Not only that, 2 members of Derry's team were taken by Kim's men. Derry was also shot, but he somehow survived that day. He came from North Korea to South Korea only to capture Kim. Cha-do asks what has changed now that Kim would be punished if taken back to North Korea. Derry explains that when the CIA handed Kim over to South Korea's NIS, shortly before that, Kim's father and some members attempted a counter-revolution to overthrow the government. Because of that crime, Kim's father is in prison, and Kim could be executed at any time. That is why, before going to prison, Kim's father sent him out of the country. So if Kim is taken back to North Korea now, he will definitely face punishment. But he will never be punished in South Korea because the CIA and NIS will not allow that to happen. At that moment, Cha-do receives a call. He learns that Kim is being released. He immediately arrives at the police station. Since Cha-do clearly knows Kim is the real person responsible, he does not want to release him under any condition. However, Kim deliberately provokes Cha-do. He tells Cha-do that the sound people make when they are dying brings him pleasure, and that this is the greatest pleasure in the world. He also says that when this sound comes from young women, it becomes even more satisfying. Hearing all this, Cha-do becomes very angry and starts hitting Kim. Police officers try to stop him, but Cha-do does not listen to anyone. Meanwhile, media personnel arrive and take pictures of everything. The next day, this news is published on various websites, and because of this, Cha-do's boss suspends him for some time. On the other side, the NIS finally takes Kim into their custody. However, even there, Kim does not remain calm. He suddenly attacks the female agent assigned to watch him. Hearing this news, Agent Park immediately arrives at the scene. Seeing the condition of the female agent, Park becomes very angry and severely beats Kim. However, Kim says with a smile that he was just having a little fun with her and did not treat her like the others. Hearing this, Park becomes even more angry. It becomes clear that there is no humanity left in Kim. At that moment, CIA agent Paul arrives with his team. In fact, CIA agent Paul had placed Kim under the care of South Korea's NIS 2 years ago, and he was responsible for protecting Kim. He is being kept for only one reason. That is because Kim's father used to manage several Chinese accounts, which contain not only important information but also a large amount of money. Behind all of this is the American CIA. All the information about those accounts is now only known by Kim. That is why the CIA has been protecting Kim and keeping him in custody all this time. This is also the reason why Kim, even after committing many incidents and being under police custody, remained completely calm. Because he knew that the NIS and CIA would protect him no matter what. Kim tells Paul that he will give them all the account information, but first he must be taken to America. Paul agrees. After this, Paul tells Agent Park that for 2 years they did not get any information about Kim, not even basic details about him. In fact, before Kim was handed over to South Korea 2 years ago, the CIA had kept him in Hong Kong. Even in Hong Kong, Kim had committed similar incidents involving women, which the CIA was fully aware of. That is why they never took Kim to America. Because if Kim had committed such crimes in America, there would have been no chance for him to survive, and they would also not have been able to access the valuable information and bank accounts linked to him. On the other hand, North Korean police officer Derry contacts Cha-do and informs him about Hong Kong. He reveals that while Kim was in Hong Kong, he was involved in 2 incidents involving women, one of whom was from South Korea. Kim and his associates recorded videos of those incidents and sold them in the black market, earning a large amount of money. In one of those videos, Kim can be clearly seen. After watching this video, no one would be able to stop the police from taking Kim into custody. Cha-do immediately instructs his entire team to make multiple copies of the video. Then he seeks help from a prosecutor friend and requests an arrest warrant for Kim. After that, he arrives to arrest Kim with the warrant and the video. He plays the video on a large screen in front of all CIA and NIS agents and announces that he is here to arrest Kim. Then Cha-do tells Kim that he now understands why he used to insert objects into women's because he is physically incapable. Kim is, in fact, unable to function properly, and that is why he had others carry out these actions and then subjected the victims to severe harm. The calm and smiling person who always appeared composed is now unable to stay calm after his deepest secret is exposed in front of everyone. He tries to attack Cha-do, but the police immediately detain Kim and take him away. Agent Paul then tells Park that they should consider where Cha-do has been getting all this information from. At that moment, Paul shows them a picture of North Korean police officer Derry, who is now moving around in Seoul. However, despite Kim being arrested and brought to the police station, they are not allowed to enter the station. Cha-do's boss calls him and informs him that he and his entire team have been suspended. Hearing this, Cha-do loses his temper. He speaks angrily to his boss and takes Kim in a vehicle by himself. Then he calls his prosecutor friend and informs him that he is bringing Kim to his office after arresting him. However, his prosecutor friend also withdraws support, as pressure has been placed on him from higher authorities to stop the case completely. With all paths now blocked, Cha-do has no option left except to hand Kim over to the CIA. After that, CIA and NIS agents arrive. Agent Park tells Cha-do that he knows all the information is being provided to him by Derry. He also says that Derry himself had been sending all the tips that had previously reached the police. But do you know why Derry is doing all this? Because Derry is a fugitive North Korean police officer. The only way for him to return to North Korea is by taking Kim with him. Derry is not seeking justice or punishment for Kim, but is trying to use Kim to save his own life. He says, "You have done your duty as a police officer. Now the best option is to hand this man over to the CIA. At least then the women in our country will be safe from him." Cha-do asks him why there are no women in America. Park calmly replies that it is now America's problem. With no other option left, Cha-do is forced to proceed with handing Kim over to them. At that moment, Kim snatches a gun from a CIA agent and suddenly shoots Cha-do multiple times. After that, he smiles and surrenders again. The CIA agents quickly put him in a vehicle and leave the scene. Agent Park cannot tolerate this anymore. He follows them, determined to punish this man. At that moment, Derry arrives with a vehicle and directly hits Kim's vehicle. He then pulls Kim out and takes him into his own car. Agent Park is standing there. He could have killed both of them if he wanted to, but he does not do anything. Because he knows that if Derry takes Kim to North Korea, Kim will face punishment there. Derry then takes Kim by boat toward North Korea. Meanwhile, Park's boss informs him that Kim's father has recently regained power in North Korea. This means that if they enter North Korea with Kim now, Derry will not only fail to punish him but will also not be able to save his own life. Hearing this, Agent Park is completely shocked. On the other side, after capturing Kim, Derry throws all the victims' photos into the sea. He does not care at all that Kim's father is now in power in North Korea. Suddenly, he sees Kim standing in front of him holding a gun. Before he can react, Kim shoots and causes his death. Because of all these actions, Agent Park is transferred from headquarters to field duty. This means he will now work outside the country. Before leaving, Agent Park meets police officer Cha-do, who is fighting for his life after being shot multiple times, has fallen into a coma. After several years, it is shown that Agent Park is now working in different countries. Today he goes to Hong Kong to meet CIA agent Paul, who has called him for another mission. After meeting Paul, he is told that he must enter a building, pass all the guards and bring someone out. He is also given a pistol for this task. Agent Park then moves toward the hotel. He eliminates all the guards on the stairs and enters the room, clearing everyone inside. After that, it is revealed that the person Paul wants him to bring out is Kim. Kim becomes happy seeing Agent Park, because he believes that Park will not harm him and that the CIA will protect him no matter what. However, this time his assumption is wrong. Without saying anything, Park shoots his leg. Kim realizes the situation and shouts that he is an important person. Park then shoots his other leg as well. Kim suffers in pain and asks to speak with Agent Paul. But Park does not listen and shoots his shoulder too. Kim then begs him, asking what he wants and offering money or anything he desires, just to let him go. Park refuses and says he only wants one thing. Kim becomes hopeful and asks what he wants. Park replies that he wants Kim's death. Then he points the gun at Kim's face and ends his life. After that, Park takes a bag and goes to Paul, saying that what he asked for is inside. Paul opens the bag and is shocked to see Kim. He angrily asks what Park has done and says he has made a huge mistake. Park replies that Kim had been deceiving everyone for years, using them only for protection. He says Kim had no real valuable information, and even if he did, China would never have allowed them to access it. China had already removed all money and documents from those accounts. Kim had only used everyone as a cover to ensure his own protection for years. From now on, they will have to handle their own problems. He warns that if they ever call him for such work again, he will not hesitate to act against them. After saying this, Agent Park leaves the place. And here the story of the movie ends.